Stop what you're doing. This is big. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything. It ends with us. Saga. I literally just saw this headline. I haven't read it. We're going to work through this together in real time, and I will give you my reactions as we go. Mike Gottlieb, the lawyer for one of Time Magazine's most influential people, Blake Lively, has given his first interview about everything Justin Baldoni, and this is what he tells People magazine. Yes, when asked if the alleged victim of his abuse will testify. Her lawyer says, quote, "The ultimate moment for a plaintiff's story to be told is at trial. We expect that to be the case here. So we would, of course, expect her to be a witness at her trial. Of course she's going to testify." Unfortunately, there won't be any cameras in the courtroom, but you better believe that I will be covering it every single day. Just like I'm covering the Diddy trial. Make sure you're following me if you're not. Unfortunately, we're also going to have to wait because the trial doesn't begin until March of 2026. However, Lively's legal team claims she won't be the only one stepping forward. Quote, "There are individuals that were witnesses to or experienced misconduct that is relevant to Miss Lively's claim," her lawyer asserts. "We expect their testimony, particularly about what took place on set, will come out through live witness testimony." That could be really damning for him. And I said this back in December when I was extremely sympathetic towards the former B-list actress. And maybe she will come out victorious. You know, if enough witnesses come forward and testify in court that he did all of these awful things, and they have a consistent story, a jury might agree with her. That's why I was sympathetic towards her. When she filed her first initial complaint, even before the lawsuit, I said, wow, if she's putting this all to paper, she has to have people that are willing to testify to this in court. And her lawyer has just said she does. We're currently in discovery right now, and her lawyer says about the opposition, quote, "In discovery, they'll have an opportunity to ask Miss Lively questions. Likewise, we will have the opportunity to take the depositions of the defendants." Beyond witness accounts, Lively's legal team insists their case will also rely on evidence. In addition to live testimony, the legal team... In addition to live testimony... This is good. In addition to live testimony, the legal team plans to present documents and statements from producers, Sony Pictures, and other eyewitnesses. I have read every document in all of this saga thus far, and up until now, most of the documents from Sony Pictures have been very damning for her. Remember, the one that's perhaps most damning to me was when Sony emailed him saying that they wanted his film by credit removed because she was insisting on that. And she had not signed her contract and was holding the release hostage. I remember everything. Gottlieb argues that public conversation surrounding Lively and Baldoni's legal battle has strayed from the core of the case. He says, quote, "We think there have been a lot of distractions put up to deflect attention from the retaliation campaign that was launched against her." Pause. He has receipts that her team launched a retaliation campaign against him. Where are her receipts? I haven't seen them yet. I look forward to seeing that at trial. And even if she does provide them, he's got receipts that her team is guilty of the same thing also. So they cancel each other out, right? Her lawyer continues, "We expect and hope that in discovery, we'll have an opportunity to really focus on what we believe to be the core part of the case, which is that this retaliation campaign was launched against Miss Lively for her having raised concerns about sexual harassment." They didn't do that. In fact, repeatedly in texts and emails, he said that he didn't want anything negative about her planted. Remember? I remember. Whether Delulu's husband will testify remains uncertain. He is also a defendant in Baldoni's countersuit, but Lively's team is moving to dismiss those claims. Gottlieb says, quote, "Our belief is that they're frivolous," adding that if the claims are dropped, Reynolds may or may not be a fact witness. Baldoni's legal team has said they may subpoena major celebrities like Taylor Swift and Hugh Jackman. Lively's lawyer says, quote, "It's completely unclear what claims or defenses in the case any of these celebrities have any relevance to at all. This is a case," pause. Hugh Jackman, all right, maybe he had some information, but Taylor Swift is definitely a key player in all of this. Don't act the fool, Mr. Gottlieb. He counters, though, "This is a case about what happened to Blake Lively when she raised claims of sexual harassment on the set. It's not a case about how songs were chosen for the movie. It's not a case about fictional Marvel characters in Deadpool movies." You have to ask the question then, why are these people being subpoenaed? I'll answer that for you, because they have relevant information. Her lawyer continues, "Do they have any actual relevance to the case at hand? You can't just go around subpoenaing people because they're famous and you think it will generate a bunch of headlines. And the federal courts don't tolerate that kind of behavior." As for concerns that the courtroom could turn into a media circus, her lawyer says, "We don't expect this case is going to turn into a circus of parading in every celebrity that might have ever had a conversation with Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds, or in the same way about any famous person who might have ever had a conversation with Justin Baldoni or Steve Sarowitz." Well, Baldoni's attorney is responding. Brian Friedman, who is also my lawyer, says, quote, "Although obviously uncomfortable for the Lively parties, the truth is not a distraction. The truth has been clearly shown through unedited receipts, documents, and real-life footage. More to come." Blake was the one who brought her high-profile friends into this situation without concern for their own personal or public backlash. As the truth shows, she used her dragons to manipulate Justin at every turn. Ryan's involvement is very well documented, and we continue to discover more intentional misconduct. Was Disney actually complicit in Ryan using shareholder revenues to further a personal grudge? I would be surprised to learn that this type of corporate waste would not lead to much more exposure for those that have been complicit in affecting shareholder revenue. I am living, loving. What do you think of all of these developments? Let's discuss in the comments.